Hey guys, John Ojaka here from musicmarketingmanifesto.com, and I've been seeing a lot of questions out there about how to get your music on iTunes, how a musician can go and easily sell their music on iTunes. So I thought I'd put together a quick video. I'm going to break down a couple of different digital distribution options for you that anyone can use, and then I'm going to give you a side-by-side comparison of the different costs and features that you might want to be aware of. Now, as you can see in front of you, we're looking at one of them. It's CD Baby. CD Baby's they're a digital distributor, but they also offer some other services such as shipping of physical CDs. They're the company that I personally use, and I'm most familiar with them. I'm happy with them, but there are other companies out there, and I'm not here to personally recommend one over the other. Another company, they're sort of the direct competitor, at least to my mind, of CD Baby is Tunecore. To my knowledge, they do not offer the shipping of any physical items, but they do offer digital distribution on par with CD Baby. And again, with all these companies, we're not just talking about iTunes, we're talking about Amazon, Rhapsody, and any of the major companies that where people are actually buying and consuming digital music. Another company that seems to be growing in popularity is Reverbnation. I have probably less familiarity with them, at least in terms of digital distribution. Most musicians are familiar with them as a popular platform for sharing their music. They do offer a number of different services. They do actually offer a sort of print-on-demand store type of service. However, that is separate from their digital distribution, and different fees apply. So those are the three primary services that you're going to want to be looking at. Anyone can sign up with them, and if you go to musicmarketingmanifesto.com/sell your music on iTunes, and I'll put a link below this video in the description there. Again, that's musicmarketingmanifesto.com/sell your music on iTunes. Then I'll give you all the links to the different registration pages right there, so that you can save yourself a little bit of time and go sign up if you're interested in signing up with one of these services. But they're all pretty cheap, pretty straightforward, and you just basically create an account, upload your music, add some information, album art, etc., and within a few days, or more likely a few weeks, your music's going to be on iTunes and you'll be away. So let's look at a comparison of these services. You can see here we've got basically 4 columns across, and we've got the different companies, and we've got the different items that are really, at least I think, relevant to you as an independent artist. The first and the obvious one is cost. CD Baby charges $49 for that's a one-time fee. So you pay it once and you're set for basically for life. Tunecore charges $49.99 as well. However, that's an annual subscription. You're paying that per year. And then Reverbnation ranges, depending on which package you go with, from $34.95 to $59.95 a year. So, these prices can add up here when you're going annual subscriptions, particularly if you got 5 or 10 records out there. With that said, there are some other benefits to these services that we're going to get to here in a second. And I want to just throw the disclaimer out there. All of the information that I'm telling you is accurate to my knowledge. There may very well be some additional prices that I'm not aware of, and depending on when you're watching this, things can change. And so, these prices are always subject to change. This is just the information as I know it to the best of my knowledge. You'll need to refer to the services for a 100% accurate and current breakdown of all of these items, because they can and may change. But cost to submit a single with CD Baby, that's just a $9.99 one-time fee, and with TuneCore it's also $9.99, but we're talking annual subscription. Reverbnation, they don't really look at singles as any different from albums. They just look at each item as a submission, and they charge the same amount per submission, regardless of whether it's a single or an album. And then we come over here to percentage charged by company, and here's where things really sort of veer off in two different directions, and you need to decide what's right for you. CD Baby charges, basically they take 25% of any direct download from their site. So in other words, if someone comes to CD Baby and orders from their site your album digitally, like they might on iTunes, then they're going to charge, or they're going to take 25% of that. So if you're selling it for $10, you're going to make $7.50. And then when the download comes from iTunes or Amazon or any of those companies, they're going to take 9% of the profit. So if iTunes is taking 30%, which I believe is what they're currently taking, let's say you're selling it for $10, you're making $7, CD Baby is going to take another 9% of that $7. Whereas Tunecore and Reverbnation are both free. They're charging annual subscriptions, however, they're not taking that 9% of the profit. You're still paying that percentage to iTunes, but there's no 9% coming out of your pocket. So this really depends. If you're one of these artists who's only selling 5 CDs a year, then the annual subscription model is probably not for you. However, if you're one of these artists that's moving a lot of volume, then I suspect these free options here, the annual subscription model, is probably going to be cheaper in the long run. Statistically, we know that most artists are not selling a lot of albums each year, at least online. We're working on changing that, and more we're seeing that that's changing. But the average musician, if you don't have a marketing plan in place, if you're not really doing anything to actively market it and promote your music, then it may very well be that you're going to want to go with a plan more like what CD Baby is offering. But that ultimately, of course, is up to you. Just threw this in here as well, UPC barcode. There's a $20 per album fee from CD Baby, whereas Tunecore and Reverbnation are currently free. That's about it. Again, it's up to you to make the decision as far as what's right for you and what services you're ultimately looking for. If you are looking for a company to ship product for you, that may be a factor. For me, CD Baby's been the best solution because they're just sort of a one-stop shop. I'm familiar with them. I've worked with them closely on a couple of projects, and I like them. But I have absolutely nothing against Tunecore and Reverbnation, just less familiar with them, and probably have steered clear because they don't ship. But they're all absolutely good and reputable companies. And if you're looking to sell your music on iTunes, fortunately, they make it very, very easy for you. You spend an hour or so filling out their forms, and you pay this $50 fee basically, and you're golden. You're going to be on iTunes in no time, right up there against the best of them. So that's how you do it. If you'd like to learn more music marketing strategies, tactics, and tips, then please check out Music Marketing Manifesto. That's musicmarketingmanifesto.com. You'll find a ton of resources there for today's independent musician. And remember the link down below this video in the description, assuming you're watching it on YouTube. That'll take you over to my site where you can find direct links to each one of those distributors that we talked about here today. All right, thanks very much for watching. Catch you over at musicmarketingmanifesto.com.